10 points for this. A synonym is a word similar in meaning to another. What name is given to a word whose meaning is included within...
Jesus Hadley.
Sorry, I lost it.
I'm sorry, you lose 5 points. Is included within that of another, more general term, such as horse and animal and scarlet and red. You either know this or you don't. I'll tell you it's a hyponym. 10 points for this. Listen carefully. If every face of a 3 by 3 by 3 cube composed of 27 white 1 by 1 by 1 cubes is painted red, and then the cube is dismantled into its constituent blocks, what fraction of the total surface area of the 27 blocks will be coloured red?
Jesus Waterson.
2/3.
Anyone want to buzz from Emmanuel?
Emmanuel Guttenplan.
No, sorry.
Oh, bad luck. I thought you got it. It's 1/3. Another starter question. Give the 3 short rhyming words that correspond to the following definitions. A conifer of genus Picia, for example, the Norway or Sitka, a temporary agreement to suspend hostilities, and the liquid part of fruit or vegetables.
Emmanuel Guttenplan.
Spruce, truce and juice.
Correct. Emmanuel, your bonuses this time are on mathematics, as understood by Gilbert and Sullivan's modern Major General. In The Pirates of Penzance, the Major General boasts that about binomial theorem, I am teeming with a lot of news. Which scientist discovered the binomial theorem in 1676?
Leibniz.
That was Newton. He also claims to have many cheerful facts about the square on the hypotenuse. What is the numerical value of that quantity if the lengths of the sides of a right-angled triangle are 3 successive integers?
25.
Correct. His final mathematical boast is that in conics I can floor peculiarities parabolas. A parabola can be defined as a type of conic that has an eccentricity equal to what?
1.
Correct. 10 points for this starter question. What philosophical term is often used of those poets disdained by Dr. Johnson and brought back into favour by T.S. Eliot?
Emmanuel Harris.
Metaphysical.
Correct. Emmanuel, your bonuses are on the dramatist Carol Churchill. What title did Carol Churchill give to her play of 1987, satirising the excesses of those involved in the British stock market?
Oh my goodness, I know this. Oh my goodness, what is it? Sorry?
Something to do with greed, maybe?
Maybe. Doesn't ring a bell, but try it.
Greed?
No, it's serious money. What phrase meaning a state of ecstasy was the title of Churchill's play, set first in Victorian colonial Africa and then in London in 1979, by which time the characters have aged only 25 years?
State of ecstasy. Euphoria?
Euphoria?
No, it's Cloud 9, which play of 1982 concerned an eponymous employment agency for women. Its characters including the 9th century Pope Joan, the Victorian traveller Isabella Bird, and Chaucer's patient Griselda.
I should know that. Something table? I don't know.
No idea.
It's Top Girls. 10 points for this. In geology, what term indicates a large rock that has been carried some distance from its source?
Emmanuel Scott.
Erratic.
Erratic is correct. Your bonuses now are on songs of the Second World War. Written by the American Frank Loesser in the immediate aftermath of the attack on Pearl Harbor, the title of a popular song of World War II demanded that one praise the Lord and do what?
Pass the ammunition.
Correct. Recorded by Arthur Askey and George Formby, among others, a popular song of World War II demanded that a sergeant major do what before tucking the singer into his little wooden bed?
Kiss him goodnight.
Kiss Me Goodnight, Sergeant Major. Written in 1915, but enormously popular with both Axis and Allied forces during World War II, which eponymous young lady in the English language version stood underneath the lantern by the barrack gate?
Lily Marlene?
Yes, Lily Marlene is right. Time for a music round. Your music starter is an excerpt from the theme music of a film. 10 points if you can give me the name of the film and the war which features in it.
Emmanuel Scott.
Gone with the Wind, the American Civil War.
That's right, yes. So for your bonuses, you're going to hear 3 more well-known films, the themes therefrom. In each case, I want the name of the film and the war taking place in the narrative. Firstly, for 5.
Lawrence of Arabia, the First World War.
Correct. Secondly,
That's the Deer Hunter. That's the Deer Hunter. Vietnam.
The Deer Hunter, Vietnam.
correct. Finally,
Great Escape, Second World War.
The Great Escape, the Second World War.
correct. Another starter question. Which art school, situated on the left bank of the Seine in Paris, gives its name to a decorative classical architectural style?
Jesus Speller.
École des Beaux-Arts.
Correct, yes. Your bonuses now, Jesus, are on space science. Firstly, sometimes called the Clark orbit or Clark belt after Arthur C. Clarke, what is the more usual name for the orbit used by most communications satellites?
Low Earth orbit. Yeah, and
Lower Earth orbit.
No, it's a geostationary orbit. Geostationary orbits form a subset of what more general class of orbit with periods of rotation that are multiples or submultiples of Earth's?
What do you think?
Try the same again.
Try the same again, yeah.
What was it I said?
Low Earth orbit.
Lower orbit. Lower, what was
Low
it?
Earth.
Lower Earth orbit.
No, it's a geosynchronous orbit. And finally, to the nearest 1,000 kilometres, at what altitude is geostationary orbit equal to about 0.12 light seconds?
3,000. Just get 3.
It's going to be a lot.
3,000.
It's going to be a lot.
Like 300,000 then? Or
Go for 3.
Yeah,
30,000. 30,000.
And that's 36,000. Good guess, though. Right, 10 points for this. Quote, to promote a woman to bear rule, superiority, dominion or empire above any realm is repugnant to nature, contumely to God. These are the words of which religious figure?
Emmanuel Harris.
John Knox.
John Knox, yes, in his first blast of the trumpet. Your bonuses now, Emmanuel, are on seafood. Thermidor, à la Newburgh and à l'américaine are names of recipes that originated as methods of cooking which shellfish?
Lobster.
Correct. The epithet à l'américaine sometimes appears on menus as à l'armoricaine, after Armorique, an old name of which region of France in which lobsters are commonly eaten?
Brittany.
Correct. Thermidor, the month of the French Revolutionary calendar from which lobster thermidor ultimately gets its name, began in which month of the Gregorian calendar?
Because it's hot.
Yeah,
try that.
Said July.
July.
July is right, yes. Another starter question. A man can be destroyed but not defeated. In which novella, the last major work of fiction to be published in his lifetime, did Ernest Hemingway write those words?
Emmanuel Guttenplan.
The Old Man in the Sea.
Correct. Your bonuses now are on linguistic terminology, Emmanuel. The answer in each case begins with the prefix para. What word means a set of the inflected forms of a noun or verb, especially when used as a model for words of the same type?
Paradigm.
Yes. Paradigm.
Correct. What word means the arrangement of clauses without connecting words, as in the sentence, I tell you, this answer is wrong?
Yeah.
Paratactic.
Parataxis is the I can't accept that you're using it in adjectival form. What word means those elements of communication other than words such as tone of voice, gestures and facial expressions?
Paratext. Oh no, text is with writing. What would we would speak?
Paralogue.
No, it's paralanguage.